9. And now it'll be up to Utah.
All right, Griz Nation, we're just recording here for a podcast. We're listening to the rest of the Griz game, so hopefully there were not any copyright rules here.
I'm sure we're not. It's Riley. He'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
This performance with 14 points.
It's on in the background.
Yeah, right.
So just to let you know, 6.1 seconds left. We're up 67-66 over Utah Tech. 1 and 5 Utah Tech. It's like, come on, guys.
Oh my gosh.
From 3-point range.
That's a part of that Stu Morrill Classic too.
Both teams are out of timeouts.
Johnson's about to shoot the free throw.
Johnson. 2 dribbles, bends his knees. The free throw.
Oh, he missed.
Good. Fight for it. Utah Tech.
Oh, we got the rebound.
Oh,
Then we get fouled.
With 3.6 seconds left.
Utah Tech misses the rebound, and we got it.
Able to grab another offensive rebound off of a missed free throw, and that's the 10th foul. So 2 free throws coming.
Holy cow. So Utah Tech swats it. It goes up, hits the backboard, and our guy jumps on it.
10 rebounds. He couldn't secure it there.
3.6 seconds left.
Johnson has been busy at the
Cash
line.
the first one.
Nice.
It's a 2-point lead for Montana at 68-66.
Got to make this one. So they don't
gotta
desperately make a 3-pointer.
To give Montana a 3-point lead.
Cashes it. Boom.
Nice.
You're up by 3. 69-66.
Riley needs some help to inbound it. Gets it to Bird. He's at half court for the tie. It's short.
Short.
And Montana storms back.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Chris.
69-66.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
All right, I'll try to set this up.
End on a 6-0 run in the final.
Well, that was cool. You got to
That was awesome
on the pod. So,
yeah. So hopefully we don't get sued, but hey, you know what?
Well,
what are we gonna do?
I kept talking in the middle of it, so it's like.
Yeah. So yeah, they played Utah Tech. They won, guys. So on that note, let's get into the Griz Roundup. They're playing a part of that Stu Morrill Classic, guys. It's going on right now in Missoula. They will play tomorrow. No, they'll play Wednesday. This is saying Wednesday. Why? They're so off. Today's Monday, right?
Yes, today is Monday. So
okay.
Yeah,
so on Griz Nation, it's super weird right now. Like they have Utah Tech on two days.
Huh? Because I show us playing Cal State Northridge on Wednesday.
Yeah. So why would they do that and not? I think they play tomorrow night.
Huh?
Because
weird.
Well, weird.
Yeah, I don't show anything tomorrow night because I'm looking at like CBS Sports app too, and they're showing Wednesday night.
On Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Weird. And Cal State Northridge, they've won, I believe, both of their games as well. So pretty much they'll do the championship game on Wednesday, I believe, guys, and I think that's at 7 p.m. Griz just kicked me out.
Yep, it's 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus is what I'm showing.
So if you guys can make it out there, definitely go support the guys. They're fun to watch.
They are
fun to watch.
There were some highlights from this weekend. That dunk or whatever. That was awesome.
Yeah. They took it to Denver. That was an 83-73 win against Denver on Sunday, and they're fun to watch. So definitely go if you have the time to go watch them. They'll get a little bit of a break, and they will then go into the Big Sky Summit Challenge and play the likes of South Dakota State and St. Thomas. The South Dakota State game is in Dahlberg Arena on December 4th. Okay. So women's basketball
should be
guys,
on ESPN Plus then.
It is. Yep, it will be. Women's basketball guys, they had a huge win against Washington Sunday. And definitely just really took it to Washington, 82-68 in Missoula. That will probably be the last time they play us in Missoula.
Probably.
And so they also played North Dakota. They went to Grand Forks and beat North Dakota 71-59 on Thursday, right before the brawl. And then they went to Minnesota on Sunday, and they met a Minnesota team that was pretty good. 84-45 loss. Definitely not something you want, but it is the Big Ten, right? So I guess Washington's the Big Ten too, but that's just weird.
That's so weird saying that.
It's so weird. It's just like I'm a huge like Big Ten fan, and I'm just like, it is so weird. Oh man.
Well, I was always such a big Pac-12 fan or Pac-10 fan and stuff, and it's just it's so weird.
The ladies will play in Dahlberg Arena on the 26th, though. Is that today? Is today the 26th? That's
tomorrow.
Tuesday. That's tomorrow. I'm like, that's probably why they had to separate those games.
I bet you're right. It's got to be the reason.
Okay, so they'll play in Dahlberg Arena tomorrow, guys, at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus as well. Evergreen State. What is that? Is that a dinosaur? It's a duck.
Oh, okay.
Evergreen duck. Huh. That's a weird. Okay. Anyways, they will also go into the Big Sky Summit League Challenge same days, December 4th and December 7th. They'll go to North Dakota State first and then South Dakota State as well. So there's definitely some basketball guys for you guys to watch and to cheer on. Definitely, if you guys can, go support the men and the ladies. So, but yeah, we had a game this weekend. Probably didn't go the way that we thought. Well, most of us.
Not the way I was thinking at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was frustrating watching that.
Oh.
So big take. I felt like our defense showed up to play. They were hitting hard, playing well, I thought.
It wasn't our defense that lost that game.
I don't know what's up with our offensive play calling. Like, it's 3rd and 6. Let's throw it behind the line of scrimmage into some stupid ass screenplay that probably won't get very many yards, because that's gonna work.
Yeah. Or
and then once it's a blizzard, let's throw it downfield now and make a bunch of completions.
Yep. Or hey, let's
smoking weed up in the booth or something. It's
let's run to the side and try to outrun their quick defense, where we knew we weren't going to outrun their defense to the sideline to sideline.
No,
they have quick linebackers that can do that. We don't. Well, we don't have quick linebackers.
They were hurting and banged up on their interior, and that Brody guy, he goes down and stuff. I'm like, well, why aren't we running up the dang gut? And when we did with Osmo and Gilman, we were getting yards.
And guess what? They were playing I think they were playing at least 3 or 4 defensive ends. They put their defensive tackle out, and they were having defensive ends. Yeah. Our line is atrocious at that game.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
no push, no protection at all.
Yeah, it was bad. I didn't understand a lot. It was just we'd make some big plays and do some like that one play X made that was way down the field.
Yeah,
and it was kind of sort of a trick play a little bit that were great. But I really thought they'd really open it up. We kept saying that there's nothing to lose. Our offensive play calling didn't look like we were playing with nothing to lose.
No,
it seemed conservative and ugh.
When you were trying to open it up and kind of beat them on the sides and test that, usually you're going to test them vertically too.
Yeah.
And they did that once with Fonts, which was, I think, more of a just a throw ball where he was getting pressure and he kind of just threw it away.
Yeah.
But there was no big plays.
No, I mean, that one to Roccanelli that he dropped, that he almost caught. That was he was giving everything he could to try to catch that ball, but those guys were open. I don't know why we didn't go back to it.
Yeah.
Our
wide receivers were open.
Yeah.
To this is what we've been talking about with Fife. this is what you get. And I don't know if it's a mixture of play calling or what, but there was wide open wide receivers downfield, and he did not see them at all. And I'm not saying
go with your first read or something, or just hit him on the sides, do the quick throw, or if it's because they're coming through so damn fast, he's just like, I gotta get rid of it.
Yeah,
I can't get it. I don't know, but there was people open up down.
Oh yeah, way like, and I'm not saying, guys, we play Ayat and we do much better. I don't think we would, especially if he's hurt. But man alive, I am so tired of this coaching staff not taking advantage of the players that we have. Put Bergen in the slot and run him down the field. Put Grossman in.
Yeah.
Just throw him the ball.
He barely played. I thought we'd get some more passing to him.
Like that's our weapon. That is where you're going to beat them at.
It feels like we went like, okay, this is the offense we're running, and figure it out, guys. Instead of going, okay, where do we have advantages with our players versus them? Let's do those plays. Like,
it's been that way for how long?
I know.
It's like we're going back to Rosenbach offense, because that's what it was.
Yeah.
And we don't use our players.
I remember you texted me that during the game. You're like, this feels like Rosenbach. I was like, God, it does.
It does.
And so then it makes me question.
Who's calling?
Is Houck taking over, or saying, nope, you run these things, or what's going on here? Because like Pease came from Boise State, where when they opened it up. And like other places, like it just feels like, I don't know what's going on, but it's frustrating. Like, we were all frustrated when the defense, gave up all those points to Weber.
Yeah.
We were putting up points, and it's like, man, we can put points up.
Yep.
And then they kind of figure the defense out, and the defense has gotten better. They're hitting hard and they're tackling better.
Yep.
And then the offense just puts us in terrible situations and can't produce and not like run our guys up the gut. Like, it's just, oh man, like.
Well, and to think that, our defense did so well with limiting their big plays. They had that one huge run. They had those two passes that were huge.
Right.
They held him a lot and kind of made him give it to other people.
Well, and I mean, shoot.
And Jones.
Their two top backs were out. And then we got Adam Jones. And, well, the reason Adam Jones, I mean, not to take any away from him, he's a good player, but their offensive line was blowing stuff open then all of a sudden. And he could just – because our damn defense was on the field for so long.
Exactly.
They were gassed.
Yeah.
Like,
and to think that he can I think he had the ball like 27 times.
Yeah.
And what did we end up giving Eli?
I'm gonna guess 8.
Okay, I'll look at it right now. We did not want to run him or Osmo up the middle. It was always plays.
When we did run Osmo up the middle, or like he had some good runs.
Yeah.
Until he got banged up. Hopefully he's okay.
Hopefully he is okay.
Yeah. But Eli, it was like we kept running these out, sideline to sideline crap with him. And their guys are quick and they're getting to him. He's trying to make moves and just get him up the field. Run him north south.
Exactly. Yep. I didn't understand the play calling. I did not.
I think that was one of the most frustrating parts, was our offensive play calling for the game.
Yeah. Oh, it just doesn't make any sense.
Like, what happened to that offense that put up the 28 points right away on North Dakota, or put all those points up against Missouri State or Weber? And it's just like our offense has progressively
gotten worse
throughout the season.
Oh yeah, it's not even if it did. It got worse. Yeah. Gilman got the ball 10 times.
Oh, I was off by 2.
Pfeiffer ran it 7 times.
Yeah.
Not
all of those were denied runs. Some of those were, I got to get my ass out of here.
Yeah.
We
ran the ball 23 times and we threw the ball 35.
Well, once you get behind, you just start chucking it. So
that is nuts.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's like our defense kept us in that game for quite a long time. And I just kept waiting for our offense to wake up and do something. And it's just like, oh.
Or, what was really telling?
A slow, painful death.
Like right before halftime, when it was 17-3?
3, yeah.
And we go for the middle of the field.
Should have been 14-3.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had the ball in the middle of the field. We go for it on 4th down, and we don't get it. And they go get a field goal. I was like, well,
yeah,
that's done.
Yeah, God.
So,
yeah.
Not a great way to start. It did,
Well, and the tradition continues of the home team.
Oh yeah,
doing really well. So,
yep. Yeah,
I really thought this could be a year where we could pull it off. But the Cats are really good, and
they are.
I threw this tweet out after that game. I was like, "Thank goodness Tommy Milazza Sr." Because, here's the thing. The one thing about Tommy is he commands so much attention on the defense.
Yeah, he does.
And that's what also opens up their run game because of that. And so we saw that a lot. We were trying to keep our eye on him. We didn't want him to beat us. And he really didn't in the run game. Now, all of a sudden, Tommy could throw better than I've seen him throw all year. He was dropping some dimes in there on guys when we had decent coverage. The kid's just really good, but it does open up their run game. And so here's my question is he's a senior. Next year, I'd be getting nervous as the Cats because I don't know what they got coming. And here's the other thing. I don't know if Vegan's coming back.
I don't know. I don't think he's coming
back. Last year, we know he went and interviewed for a bunch of jobs. I feel like he wants that next role. So it depends if he gets the offer or not. But, yeah, I don't know. They definitely have a really good class this year, and they're playing good football. And we'll see what happens to them. They're on we got after the game, the bracket came out, and they're on that, Big Sky side of the bracket, and we got thrown over the Missouri Valley side of the bracket. It feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a pretty easy at least the semifinals.
Yeah. But it's hard to beat a team twice, and they got to play they would possibly play Davis and Idaho again. So,
Yeah, I'm not really I think Idaho's a fraud.
I do too. I think Davis is the one that could
yeah. Then they'd face Davis possibly if Davis got past South Dakota in the semifinals.
Yeah, South Dakota is another one. I mean, they just beat North Dakota State this last weekend. If I was anybody, I'd be pissed to be South Dakota right now.
Oh yeah, beat NDSU and
you get the 4 seed.
And you get the 4 seed.
Yeah,
that they didn't even reward them.
No, and NDSU gets the 2 seed. It was okay.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, they have a chip on their shoulder coming into this.
Oh yeah, I bet I would be too.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here, man?
Well,
we've got a game here, and
there's one good thing that happened in that whole game this weekend. The neighbors dumped the trophy, and we found out there's a big Griz sticker on the bottom.
That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty freaking sweet. I was like, I'm going to take little wins where I can get it. I'm taking that as a win. When they can't handle the trophy, they dump it. I thought they broke it at first, and then
it's okay.
We get the replay, and it's like, is that oh my God, it is a Griz sticker on the bottom of that trophy. Oh, it's so awesome. That was cool.
Oh, man. So we had 117 total rushing yards to their 326, which that kind of blew. That was blown out by that 80-yard gash.
It was. Because before then, we were actually holding them, and it was funny because even Gregorak was talking about that on the broadcast, how well our defense was holding up and stuff.
Yep.
It was sure weird. Marty, I don't know what was up with him this game. He just was it felt like he was on the Montana State train the whole time. It was bugging me. He was supposed to be our guy, but he just kept praising Montana State. I know they were.
Yeah. It's I think he was trying to be the middle ground person, which Gregorak, it's not going to be the middle ground. He's in a.
Well, it was opposite. Gregorak was giving our guys props a lot because Marty was just on them. It felt like, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Passing was 6. They were Malott was 6 of 12 for 94. We were 18 of 35 for 117. So, 234 for offense for us, 420 for them. Not good. Not good at all.
Well, not to mention, like I said, some of the drops we had and just and then of course we get. I mean, I hope Fonts is okay. It didn't look good.
It did not look good at all. He was not putting any pressure on it at all.
Either leg, they were carrying him off, and I heard he was on crutches. So
yeah, he was on crutches.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Possession of the ball, 34 for them, 25 for us. What really killed us, we were 2 of 12 on third down there, 6 of 12.
Ugh.
Yeah. 1 of 2 on fourth down there, 0 of 1.
That's bad on third
Bad.
down.
Very bad.
Well, we kept the penalties too. Like we were.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing I do want to complain about. Those refs refused to call holding.
Oh my gosh.
The whole game. Our defensive line.
Oh my gosh.
Cold. If you can see online my shirt, I'm pulling it off myself. Like,
yeah.
There's times when like they're in front of the ref and like they're holding him. I'm like, please call it. And I think they called one. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like,
well,
so
they had 2 penalties for 15 yards. We had 7 for 60. So, it was a little ridiculous that way. Would have made the game? No.
No, it wouldn't have. It just so. And then here's the other thing that bothers me on our defensive line. What the hell is up with this shoulder pad tackling BS?
I don't know.
Like 99 gets through and then goes to tackle their guy on the shoulder pads on the like head. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Get low and pound him. I don't understand it. Like, I don't know.
We definitely need. I don't know. Where do we go from here?
Well, what we have to do is get prepared for this Tennessee State game because we played awful there, and you got to flush that stuff and go. Okay, we got to focus in on this. Like you can't dwell on it because you got a playoff game. Because truthfully, the great thing is the whole season starts over. Everybody's 0-0. Yeah. Some have an advantage; they don't have to play the first week, but we have the opportunity to beat Tennessee State and then go try to beat the Jacks. That's going to be a tall order. Yeah. But first things first, let's get by these guys, especially ESPN2 game. We have a chance to show up on national TV again. Yep. It's like the only game on, I think, at 8:15 that night.
It is the only game.
Yeah. Yep. So Thanksgiving weekend, people are going to be looking to watch football and stuff. It's it's a great way to show our program. Like, for instance, I thought this was interesting. Our center was on the presser today.
Yeah.
He played for
Zach.
Yeah, and he mentioned that he saw the Griz last year playing, and on TV in the playoffs. And that's what excited him about us. So it's this is a big recruiting tool. The fact that we're the only one that gets ESPN2 this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's because our fans show up at Griz. It's a great TV product.
We've got to have fans show up, though.
Well, it's going to be light. It will be because historically on Thanksgiving weekend, it's a little light.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be. I haven't even looked at the weather yet. But hopefully people are like, hey, we get a chance to watch our guys at home again. Let's show up and go watch.
Exactly. Right.
I know if I wasn't going to Nebraska for Thanksgiving, I'd be pushing our family let's go. Let's go to the game. Let me see here. Saturday right now. High of 34, low of 23, cloudy.
So, that'll be a little cold.
Well, especially these players from Tennessee State.
And they play their games in Titan Stadium.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was watching that SEMO game. I was like, "Boy, this is a nice stadium." Then I realized it's the Titan Stadium. I was like, "Wow, it's really empty, but God, this is a nice stadium."
Yeah,
we got backs on their seats. Then I realized I was like, "Oh wait, this is the Titan Stadium."
Well, any last words before we get into Tennessee State? This neighbor.
I know this is going to sound bad, but I hope the neighbors lose and don't go to the national championship.
Oh, I hope they lose so bad. I have a feeling that they're gonna. My prediction is they'll at least make the semifinals, depending on who they play in the semifinals. And then
I think USD is going to take them out. So
you think USD?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't quite made my decision yet on that one.
At the same time, I could very well see it being North Dakota State and Montana State in the championship.
Yeah, I could see that too.
But if that happens, North Dakota State's winning.
Oh, by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get. So when we lose this game, right, the way that we did, I'm seeing patterns. Okay, and I think we're going to get into this later on, maybe in the off season.
I think I know which pattern you're talking about.
Yeah. Our offense looked the same, like I said with Rosenbach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby isn't beating the Cats. Frank had that question of, I'm not repeating it the right way, but he said, "Are you happy with the way you are?" And with the record, and he's like, "That's a stupid question. No, I would rather be 6-0 instead of 2-4."
Did Bobby say that?
Yeah.
When was that? I missed that.
It was
right
post. It was right after the game.
Okay,
Frank said, "Are you happy with your record?" And he looked at Frank. He's like, "Frank, that's a stupid question." He's like, "Of course, I would rather be 6-0 rather than 2-4, but I'm not."
He's 2-4.
2-4.
Jesus.
If this was anybody else,
I didn't even realize that.
And they went 2-4 against your rival, would they have a job?
No.
Okay.
No. So here's the thing. I don't think we should be getting rid of Bobby. I mean, we made the national championship last year.
But why? Why was that? Why? And then this is what I was trying to get to, is last year there were certain things that made this happen, right?
Yeah.
The players got fed up and said, "We're going to take over this and we're going to do this." It was a contract year for Bobby. He had to prove it or shut up, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And even he had said that he had to let go of some of his ego.
Yeah.
Even this year in press conferences, he has said, I have to let my ego go.
Yeah.
This year has been a full onset of him not letting go of his ego.
Yeah.
And it has.
You're right. Like, I thought the pattern you were going to say was like every time we're picked to win, we finish 6th.
Well, and that's the other thing is expectations. And it's starting to, and you guys can get mad at me, but I think it's starting to affect the fan base that we're okay with just making the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm like that. That's not the expectation.
Like our expectation this year, we were like
championship.
12-0 awesome. 11-1 was okay. 10-2, okay, that's an okay season, but anything else below that is a disappointment. We finished 8-4. That's a huge disappointment. That is not what we expect with Grizzly football at all. We expect everybody to like pay QB club dues, pay the NIL. You want to do that, we got to win. Like, and beat the neighbors. Like, and we just like we missed out on 2 of our goals. Big Sky Conference Championship, beating the Cats. There's 1 goal left, and that's the national championship, and we got a hell of a road to get there.
Yeah.
Like, it's, oh my God.
Well, you look at it and you say, okay, well, I don't know how to say this without.
Just say it, man. It's okay.
We're not getting rid of Bobby.
No, we're not.
Because what Bobby surrounds himself with are yes guys.
I think we need
because we have all these great coaches, and I don't know what it is. We have all this great minds of football, and they come here and they're like, "Oh, I want to, spend time with family and fly fish and whatever." We need more young blood that wants to kind of be an up and coming person rather than kind of riding off into the sunset and fly fish and whatever, because when you surround yourself with people that are just going to do whatever you want, you're not getting better.
At the same time, he's the CEO. What he says goes.
Exactly. So, exactly.
There's only so much that they can do, I guess. But at the same time, like, I agree. I think like when we change things up at times, like that helps.
Yeah.
We got, like you said, the offensive minds. We got like Pease, I think, is a super smart mind. You got Scott Linehan there. I mean, it's like, and he's been working with our quarterbacks and stuff, but it's just like, man, why don't we just open it up and just, like the old, okay, we're going to play Bobby ball. That used to be in this first stint where it's like, we're going to score just enough to win. I'm so sick of that. Like, let's just put 50 on everybody. Who cares?
Well, and that hasn't gone away.
50 on them.
That hasn't gone away.
No, it hasn't. That's what I'm saying. He's still, it comes back where he just wants to like, just score enough just to win.
Yep.
Just let the guys have fun and put up a ton of points. Like,
exactly.
Who cares? Like, this modern age of college football, put up a bunch of points. We don't.
Yeah. And then have a defense that can slobber, take them down. Yeah. But it's going to start affecting recruiting because people are not going to want to just be. You have the Bergens, you have the Grossmans that are coming here that are going to be all Americans, and you're not going to use them the right way.
Right.
It's going to start affecting.
Yeah.
If it already hasn't.
There's people worried that there's certain people on our team, and I don't want to say their names, that could leave after this year because of how it's gone. And now the thing is back in the day when, you couldn't leave without missing a year of eligibility and all that stuff, that's gone. Yeah. Anybody can leave at any time. So you have to be more creative when it comes to your play calling and all this stuff. And make people want to stay and make sure they're all having fun playing football because football is supposed to be fun.
But I wouldn't blame them if they did.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's if they did, I mean, I'd be really disappointed. But at some point, how can you blame them?
Yeah, if you're not maximizing what you can do on the field, and they're not going to use you the way that they're going to use you, sorry, go take your talent somewhere where they're going to appreciate you and use you.
Well, especially if it's a level up, because if you're playing well here. And we get the attention of that, and that's why we've lost guys to Nebraska and other places. It's it's frustrating. So here's my hope. Let's put a little positivity on here. If we can, no. I was going down that road too. So my thought is this: the season does start over. We got Tennessee State, so we should be able to beat this team. In my feeling here, they coming into Washington Grizzly. we have lost the Wildcats a lot this year, but usually if teams come in here in the playoffs, especially in the first round, it's not pretty. Usually, now this is a good football team, but
except for the SEMO year,
yeah. Well, we still won that year, so
barely.
I know it was a fun game though. I was at that game. I had a blast. Yeah. So the thing is if we can come in and let's pull or one of those Eastern teams where you just beat the crap out of Eastern. It's we need to do that. We need a really good get right game this week. If we can and beat these, this is a playoff team, so they're going to be good. But if we can show out, it's going to build confidence in our team and make the guys feel good about it. And then, we go on the road and see what happens. It's a week to week. It does all start over. Everybody's got a shot. That's the great thing about FCS playoffs. There's 24 teams all fighting for it. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. At least we get to play again. We get to watch them.
Yep.
And you never know what could happen. All of a sudden, you could just start playing amazing. We still, to this day, haven't put 4 quarters of football together on both sides of the ball. If we could do that, holy cow, I think we could beat anybody.
But at the same time, if you haven't done it yet,
well, I know.
Isn't that kind of your true colors?
Well, yeah, I'm not saying, I'm not going to disagree with you.
The data shows, that if you haven't done it to this point, 12 games into the season.
As much as I'd like to disagree with you, I can't. I'd love to, but I can't. You're right. We are who we are. We are who we are. We're not putting it together. So. I still have optimism that we might, but right now.
I love your optimism, Luke.
Right now we haven't, but I'm optimistic that by God, we're going to beat Tennessee State, and when we go to play the Jacks, we're going to put all 4 quarters together and figure that out, and we owe them one. But
oh man,
like I said, first things first, we got to get past Tennessee State because they do have some talent on that
they side. do, and let's talk about Tennessee State. Let's go into that game.
I was telling Adam before the pod, I kind of found highlight videos. There wasn't a ton of film I could find on them, but the film that I did watch on offense. Number 1 and number 23 really stood out a lot.
Yeah,
23 is good. I think he's.
Well, let's go into who they are a little bit. So they're 9-3. Sorry, they're 6-2 in the Ohio Valley Conference.
It's the OVC / something else.
Big South or something.
Yeah, they combined this year or something like that. Yeah.
So they are, I believe, an HBCU.
Yep. We looked that up there at HBCU.
Yep. And so their first game this year was Mississippi Valley State. They won that in Nashville, 41-21. They played North Dakota State, went to Fargo, got obliterated. I watched it's really weird. I learned that ESPN2, you can't go back like other than probably like 10 days.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go back far enough to go watch that game. So I watched the clips on highlights on YouTube, and 52-3, that was not even close to a game.
No.
They played Arkansas Pine Bluff. They beat them 41-28. I guess that was the Southern Heritage Classic that they call that. They played Tennessee Tech. They lost 24-14. That must be a rivalry game.
I watched, so that's the one I did watch.
Okay.
It is a rivalry game. It was kind of back and forth. And I think here's the wild thing about that. Tennessee Tech, I think they had 7 sacks in that game against.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah, they were getting
wow.
to win. So it surprised me because it wasn't, you didn't see that much. That was earlier on in the season, but against the SEMA one, I didn't see that much. But
yeah,
there, the key what they did was putting pressure on number one. Like you get to him again, like we say all season. If you can get to the quarterback, it makes a big difference. But like he's an athlete though, so he can run around. But the one thing I did notice in that game is he likes to chuck it up, like
yeah, he does,
like off his back foot and like makes some inaccurate throws. So if you're paying good attention, there's opportunities for interceptions and stuff because he tries to force plays at times.
Yeah. They played Charleston Southern in Nashville too, 13-9 win there. They played Lindenwood, which they're just new to FCS, which they had a pretty good year this year. They beat some teams that I wouldn't expect. They beat Lindenwood 24-20. Excuse me. They played Eastern Illinois. They beat Eastern 41-17. They beat Howard 27-14. They lost to UT Martin 28-21.
Also in the playoffs right now.
Yep. They beat Western Illinois 45-20. They beat Gardner Webb 23-20. These wins that they have are very, very close games.
Very close. Yep.
And then they beat SEMO, which that basically got them in.
That's what got them in the playoffs. It was funny because at the end there, they dumped Eddie George with the Gatorade bath and all that stuff. Like you thought they just won the Super Bowl.
Well, they haven't been in the playoffs for I don't know.
Well, last year, I think they only won a couple games last year. It's a pretty big turnaround for them this year.
So SEMO was already the half that they won half of the championship. Then they lost, so they're I think if I'm correct, it was a 3-way tie.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I think UT Martin, SEMO, and Tennessee State all got in.
Yeah,
I think crazy.
Kind of like a 3-way, similar to the Missouri Valley Conference this year, where you had USD, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State all. Pretty wild. So it was a interesting game. So let's go into some of the players because the offensive side of the ball, you were kind of getting into that. 23-1. 23 is the guy who popped out to me.
Yeah,
that's
game. Sorry, I'm going to go to 23. That's their running back and their kick returner.
Yeah, he also kicks. I think he's
TJ Evans
2 this year. I think is on his kick return.
What's that?
He's returned 2 this year on kick return. They've got a good kick return. The other thing that surprised me, so when they score down in that conference, they're allowed to dance like they can in the NFL. Like,
it's pretty cool.
I was surprised. I was just like, whoa, they didn't get a flag for that. Like they dance. Like it surprised me. So my question is like, if they score on us, I wonder if they do that, if they'll get flagged. Because if we did that up here in the Big Sky, we'd get flagged. Like they do not.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen us get penalties in the end zone for just pointing up at the crowd and stuff. And these guys do a lot more than that, like Michael Jackson kind of stuff. So it's like I'm just like, we'll see what happens. So
number 23, I wrote down he's very, very quick. He's got good ball skills catching out of the backfield, which they use him a lot. You are gonna want. He's not like terribly big. He's about 205. I believe he's fast and very fast. And he can break tackles. Actually, he's 180, 5'8", 180. And so you're going to want to tackle him and get him down right away.
He's shifty. He kind of like plays like Junior. You know, I mean, he has the ability to like juke people and get downfield. He's a good player.
Yeah,
like he's going to be a problem. So
and so their leading rusher though, he's only got 283 yards on the year. Is Jaden McGill. He's number 4. He's got 502 yards this year.
When I watched that Tennessee Tech game early on in the season,
I
don't know if 23 was hurt or something, but I didn't see him.
Yeah, I didn't see him either. So they're running more Jaden McGill. He's the bigger back. He's 205.
Yeah, I saw more of him. So
and they kind of use him with more of the bigger kind of plays through the middle and stuff like that as well. So,
but they use 23 a lot in SEMO, so I expect us to see him a lot.
A lot of the attention is going to be on their quarterback. Draylon Ellis. He's 228 of 376. That's a little over 60%. He's got 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 2,700 yards, and about 227 a game. He reminds me of that Chachere out of Portland State.
Just a smaller version.
Just like a smaller version.
But faster.
Very, very, very quick.
Smaller but fast.
And they like to run him out. Run him out of the pocket so that he can run or throw. I don't think, like, his stats say he's 60%. I don't think he's that accurate.
No, he likes to chuck it up downfield and get his guys to run underneath it. Like, his receivers were, like, in that Tech game, were good at getting separation. And he's chucking it up, and they're running underneath it.
And he's very careless with the ball.
Yeah, he's very careless.
He does not tuck the ball, and so he runs with the ball out. And so if we're running, the guys
if we can lay the wood to him, like, he don't like that. Like, if we can lay the wood to him a few times, or like you said, slap that ball out, we have a good possibility for interceptions. And two, like, he likes to, like, if the play's breaking down or your receivers are covered up, run back and forth, and that's where he's ran into sacks. Like in that Tech game, they got 7 sacks because he's running around and guys are keeping their contain, and next thing you know, they're right there to make the sack. So
he's 6'1", 175.
So he's not very big.
He is not very big.
Like 6'1's taller, but I mean, he's just, he don't have a lot of weight on him, but shifty and fast. So
and so that's gonna be interesting to see what we do this year. We haven't gotten a whole lot of pressure. I just when I look at this quarterback, man, Riley Wilson's going to have a heyday with
that's what I was thinking too. Like, Wilson could have a big day, like a three sack kind of day.
Yeah, like this is the kind of guy where he's going to be kind of rattled. I think he's going to be rattled with where he's at. I think he's going to get rattled because we're going to bring. I hope we bring some numbers. And get him rattled at the start.
That's what I would do. I'd blitz the hell out of this guy. Yeah, because he'll throw off his back foot, and we're playing zone. We can pick that stuff.
Exactly.
Like blitz and run zone. Like, let's just do that, and I think that'll work for us.
Yep. They have got some good wide receivers. And I think they're kind of a little bit bigger than I thought. That Karat Brenson 0. He's got 884 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then, sorry if I'm getting your name, you got the name wrong. Jalil Dean has got 46 receptions, 569 yards.
How big is 0?
0 is, sorry.
I should have asked before you got off of his page there.
6'2", 215.
Okay, he looks taller on
he looks a lot taller than what he
was
is.
Like 6'4" or something. So
yeah. So he is a bigger wide receiver. Let's see some of the other wide receivers that I was going to try to get to. But yeah, they've got a good wide receiver crew. And with who their coach is, they don't run the ball as much as I would think.
Right. You'd think Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George would have him running up and down the field.
Right. I was like watching it.
Talent, like who he's got,
Yeah. So kudos to him to know what he has and use it. But yeah, I'm looking at their wide receivers. Come come on, guys. Where you at? Yeah, Karat Benson's 6'2". The other guy is 6 foot. So they look a little bit bigger than what they are.
Yeah.
And so they've all there's a handful of them that have 4, 6, 5, 3, 2 touchdowns. And so they're going to want to pass the ball.
Yeah.
A lot more. They do set up the run a little bit with that, and then they'll like to do the quick passes out of the backfield to their running backs as well. So they do not have a good field goal kicker.
Is that 99?
I'm trying to get his numbers here. Oh man,
I think he's number 99.
Oh,
and I thought I saw him like toe punch it once.
Oh man, he missed 2 field goals in that SEMO game.
Yeah,
he's 10 of 19.
Well, that one he missed, like no one even talked to him when he went to the
yeah.
So I was like, oh man,
99. Yeah. He's 1 of 2 for inside the 20.
Yeah.
2 or 3 for 20, 29, 4 to 6 for 30 and 39.
They're probably going to go for it. They're probably going to go for it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, let's go for it. So
it was funny. Did you see the first miss? Eddie George just like grabbed his head and was just like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!"
Like, can't we get some soccer player out here that can kick this ball?
Oh man, yeah, man, that was bad. Anything else on their offense? You know, like guys, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna use their speed.
Yeah,
they're gonna use their speed out of the backfield. They're gonna use their quick passes. They do.
That's the one thing I keep thinking is they look fast. Like
they look fast. Yeah,
they look fast. So
and they do. He does throw it pretty well. He did throw it okay against NDSU. There was 2 times where he lost the ball because he was just holding it out. So definitely look at that because
he can be accurate, but also he can, try too hard and make errant throws. So
and that's what some of the guys were saying on the SEMO game is if he just slows and is calm, he doesn't get too high and speed himself up. Because when he speeds himself up, he starts getting erratic and less accurate.
Yeah. So really one of those guys where if you give him time back there, it could be bad. So
yep.
Yeah. So if we can really, we got to put pressure on him. We say it every week, but this is one where it's like it really changes his game if you're doing that.
Well, and that's where I'm like thinking like instead of playing the traditional nose tackle, right? Put 3 defensive ends in there. Get a little bit quicker.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I still think we need to play a nose tackle just to try to eat blocks up, but blitz. That's what I'm saying. We got to blitz. So
their defense. Whew.
Well,
you know how
their defense.
Mr. Fisher, former
Fisher,
Griz,
former University of Montana Grizzly. Yeah. There's our tie-in.
And that's kind of weird. Like, he's a former Griz. Why hasn't he been back here?
Well, I think the reason he's down there is because his dad Jeff coached for Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then Eddie George played for him. And so I think that's why. Like they come back though every year. I think Bobby mentioned it too. Like I know that the Fishers have a place in Montana, and they come fly fishing all the time. But I think it's just I think he knew Eddie, and that's why he's down there being DC. So.
And he does a really good job.
Yeah, no, their defense is good.
Their defense is quick, really quick. Number 2, have you seen number 2? So remember UC Davis?
Yeah.
The guy in the middle. It's not that like he was like 375.
Yeah.
They're number 2.
Oh, you're talking about the tackle.
Yeah.
Big guy.
6'2", 315.
Yeah, no, he's big. They got some big D tackles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They've got their line is big.
Now, here's the thing about that line. Like they try to run stunts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I noticed in some of the games they get caught up. Like they're
do.
not super fast doing their stunts. And so here's what we can't do is what we did against Montana State again. We need to run the ball up the middle. Like teams that run up the power run on this team. This is probably North Dakota State beat the hell out of them so bad.
Yep.
Power run works well against this team. You're
Yeah.
going to get some good gains. So we could run Eli and Nick if he's healthy, or Finoti. Mainly just run Eli. Eli could have the game of his life against these guys.
Yeah, he definitely could. Yeah, because they've missed some tackles too. You know, once you get past their defensive line, like this Karan Smith, 6 foot 335, they're big. They're not overly fast, but they do get pressure because they push your offensive line back, and then they just use their linebackers and DBs just to blitz the heck out of you.
Yeah.
And so number 2 was on my mind, like, holy cow, he's big. But also number 18 of the defense, Keandre Booker. He's a defensive line, but they use him somewhat kind of like a linebacker a little bit. He's 6'3", 240.
Okay, yeah, he's much more of that linebacker size.
Yeah, which is really interesting that I didn't know this in watching that SEMO game, but he's a transfer from SEMO.
He is a transfer from SEMO?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
cool. Yeah, that was kind of weird. He's a transfer from Southeast Missouri.
Huh.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what their defense does. They like to pressure. They're big up front. They do have some DBs that they like to play man. And so, another thing, guys, is, man, hopefully Bergen's healthy, because you leave him one-on-one or Grossman one-on-one. This is where, if you guys want, coaching, please listen to us here. I know you guys listen. Get these guys one-on-one and just take advantage of what they're going to do, because these guys are not going to be able to guard Bergen. They're not going to be able to guard Grossman.
That was the other thing, besides the power run game, throw it deep. Like, the deep ball works well against these guys. If you're going downfield, not screen plays, they're fast. Like, their defense gets and can stop any these screen plays or running it to the flats. You need to be running it to the seam and right down the middle, and
what we should have been doing against the Cats.
Yeah, we needed to we should have been doing against them.
Maybe that was just like a warm up. Hey, I wonder if this will work. Let's try this out to see if it works, and then we can do the opposite.
Yeah, you'd think that by the time you get to the rivalry game, you'd have everything figured out. Not so much, but
we just got our quarterback
power run and throw it down the field, and we'll do well, and we could destroy these guys if we do that. So
one thing that Fife is going to have to do, he's going to have to get out of the pocket, because the way that they bring pressure, he's going to be able to have to get out of the pocket and be accurate on the run.
That's the other thing I think I could see us doing is the QB draw game, draws and stuff like that work really well too. So, we could, Ayat's better at running that. So I don't know.
Yep, he is.
We could see some of him in this game. I could see, just because of his legs.
If he's available.
Yeah, I don't know if he's.
I don't know how
in that game. I think it was just a show.
Yeah,
just a show.
Yeah,
so, I'm not sure who's healthy still. I mean, like you said, we saw Osmo get banged up. Fonts.
Yeah,
with Fonts going down, and White was back, but I don't think he was 100%.
No, he was definitely hobbled a little bit.
Yeah. Because of that, we could see Brooks Davis and Kells Bridges. There's a possibility because of that. Or Maura Grossman. We still haven't hardly done anything with him. I'm like, come on,
just put him on the outside.
God, he's such a mismatch. It's
I know you want to have your two tight ends set. Just put him on the outside. Just put him on the outside and use him as a wide receiver. Then
use him as put him in a wideout position. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, guys, just some of the defensive numbers for you. They do have a lot of sacks. They do like to pressure, like we said. And so you've got that Keandre Booker. He's got 6.5 sacks. He's got 11 tackles for loss.
Yeah. A lot of their sacks are because of that twist game. They like to run a lot of stunts and twists and stuff. So we got to be ready for that.
Chris Walker, he's got 5 sacks. I think that's their linebacker. Sorry, I'm looking to see. Yeah, Chris Walker. No, it's defensive line. So a lot of the pressure, the sacks, is the defensive line. He's got 5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. Cameron Blaylock is their DB, who's pretty good. He's got 1.5 tackles, 9 tackles for loss. So they do get some interceptions too. They've gotten 9 interceptions this year with 28 sacks. They do use that pressure to get
try to get the ball hawking. They're waiting for you to make an errant throw. So
and then they've also had 10 fumbles. So definitely that they want and they want to turn over the ball and get the ball so they can get it back to their offense.
Guys, I mean, it's not going to be. I mean, so this could be a close game, or we could, like North Dakota State. If we are, we like them, they blew these guys out 52-3. Yeah. But then SEMO, who I thought would beat them, like they got beat. So they definitely are talented. Now we do have an advantage, the fact that they have to come all that way up to Washington Grizzly and play in the cold environment.
And in a night game too, like that's a lot of travel.
Here's the thing I was thinking about. I was telling my wife this. The game starts at 8:15 Mountain Time.
Yeah,
that is 10:15 their time. They're in the Eastern Time Zone. So like 10:15, they're going to finish the game at like 1:15 in the morning. Now these are college kids, but still, that's like for their time. I mean, it's got to be weird for them. So I'm curious, like. Because of that, I'm wondering if they're going to come out like Friday or probably Friday, or maybe the team will come out early and spend Thanksgiving in Montana together. I don't know.
Where would you though? Like that's.
I remember like before they had the whole buys and stuff when we were playing. There used to be the country kitchen at the mall. I think in Missoula, it's now where like Red Robin is or something. But we used to have team Thanksgiving there.
Oh, that's cool.
As a team, because we were getting ready to the playoffs, we'd all like. We wouldn't go home because you're practicing. You'd have the week off for school, but you'd go, down to the country kitchen all together and have Thanksgiving together, which is actually a pretty cool team bonding thing. So like, team's all going to have Thanksgiving this week together and stuff. And that's pretty good bonding stuff. So
definitely.
Hopefully all that and stuff, and they're prepare and they have if I'm them, I'd be so freaking pissed right now for losing the Cats. I'd want to take it out on somebody, and who better to take it out than on Tennessee State? So,
well, and after a loss, usually Bobby does pretty well after a loss.
True.
So that's something to look at too, guys. But at the same time, man, I am it. Like you said, you can see this game being a blowout, or you can see this game being
like the SEMO game we were talking about,
like the SEMO game a couple years back.
Yeah.
It's which team
or the time when we took Liberty for granted and thought I don't think that was Houck, but I mean we all thought Liberty was nothing, and then they beat us and then moved to the FBS. It was like, holy crap.
Or Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like when you're playing a team like this is the first time that Griz and Tennessee State have ever played.
Yep.
So you just never know. But I mean, watching the film and knowing who we are and what we can do, I feel like we should be able to win. So
yeah, I definitely think we should be able to win this game.
Yeah.
And go play the Bunnies. So
yeah.
Do you want to give score predictions, or do you want to give go into like the bracket first?
Let's give score predictions since we're talking about this. Then we can go in the bracket.
Okay. What's the Versus have us?
Versus, and actually it surprised me. So I did mine, and Versus was dang close.
Really?
Versus has the Griz winning 33-18.
Oh.
I have the Griz winning 37-13.
37-13, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is going to be one that we're going to take our frustrations out on them, and it's going to be nice and cold, and they're not going to want to be here. I think we're going to take the football out of them.
Okay. So. Mine is 31-21, Griz.
Ooh, oh, that's a lot closer. I just think the defense is pissed, and yeah.
Yeah.
If the Griz are who I think they are, we should win 37-13. So.
And honestly, like if the Griz play the defense that they can, they get a touchdown. What I'm thinking is going to happen is I wanted to say 41-10, but
I get you. No, they've been disappointing you.
I do think that could happen with an interception. I do think guys. If any of the players listen, just hit the ball out of the quarterback's hand because it will be in front of you.
Yeah, it's going to be out there.
It's going to be like going like this.
And you just slap that thing.
Slap it and run it.
Give them the old. You don't have to even Peanut Tillman and punch it out. You can just really slap that thing. It's going to be out. So. And with the cold, like trying to hold on to a cold ball and stuff, like we could see a lot of balls on the ground, and there's going to be a ton of turnovers and stuff in this game. Yeah, it could be very interesting. So
it's going to be
I'm excited to watch it. ESPN2 night game should be pretty sweet. Who knows? I don't know if we'll throw the blacks on or not. My guess is we'll just throw the old maroon and silver on since it's playoffs and go for it. So but we get another game in Washington Griz. I mean, I was thinking about going, but
I would love to. But
my hope is they beat Tennessee State because then they'll be going to Brookings, and I will be at that game. So
maybe I'll have to drive over and drive with you.
Yeah. So, well, it's funny too, because like my wife was talking about not going, just me. Now she's like, well, maybe I'll go. So I just think we're to pull this off. So then it becomes real.
There you go.
But living in South Dakota, I got a lot of Jacks fans going, you better win that because we want to play you guys again. And like, you better come to the game. So, yeah.
So, guys, there's a little breakdown of like the actual bracket.
Yeah.
Your one seed, you got the Neighbors with NDSU going down. I think that if NDSU would have won that game, the Neighbors would have probably gotten the number 2 seed.
I think so too. I think because of the fact that they still gave the Bison the 2 seed.
Yeah,
that makes me really think. That if they'd have won, they'd have got the 1 seed still.
Because they almost beat Colorado. Colorado is a pretty good pack, Big 12.
No, they lost this weekend too.
They did. Everyone lost. It was crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird games across the college football landscape this weekend.
So in that quadrant for the Neighbors, you got Idaho as the other one that's getting the 8 seed. You got UT Martin playing New Hampshire. You got Lehigh playing Richmond, and so. That's going to be an interesting kind of who's going to be playing who. And Idaho, can they get healthy? They have a quarterback that's healthy?
This is interesting. This just dropped by Sam Herder. He just dropped this a few minutes ago. The FCS championship future odds on the market right now and who to win the whole thing. So,
what are they?
Cats are number 1. South Dakota State 2, North Dakota State 3, South Dakota 4, Davis 5, Incarnate Word 6, Idaho 7,
wow, my God.
Mercer 8, Montana 9, Richmond 10, Tarleton State 11.
I don't get the whole Idaho thing.
I don't get the whole Idaho thing.
Oh my gosh, like they barely beat Cal Poly.
Yeah, I mean, I get Incarnate Word and even Mercer because they've been, but like, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hey, everybody's 0-0. It's a whole new tournament. We'll see what happens here. Like, that's the thing about these playoffs. You just never know what's going to happen. So,
yeah. So the other below there, that's going to be the same side as the Neighbors. You've got UC Davis getting a bye and South Dakota getting a bye. You've got SEMO playing Illinois State, and you've got Drake playing Tarleton.
That one's
State.
Weird. They're playing in SEMO because Illinois State can't play at their home field because of the high school championship.
High school playoffs. Yep.
Oh my God, that would suck to be Illinois State. It's like you got the top seed and you have to go to SEMO. And SEMO's got to be like, thank God.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jeez, that's wild.
Isn't that nuts? So whoever you've got UC Davis there in South Dakota. On the other side, your number 2 is North Dakota State. This is kind of interesting. Whoever's going to be playing North Dakota State is Northern Arizona or Abilene Christian, who's got the 15 seed.
Northern Arizona, way to get in. Like,
I know, right?
One in. That was pretty sweet.
Same side, you got Mercer there, and you've got Central Connecticut State in Rhode Island.
That's where I was hoping we'd end up, but whatever.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that we were in like the same area as 12 really and 13 by Davis.
Yeah.
Get kind of revenge there.
Yeah.
But Then the side that we're on, guys, we've got Incarnate Word up top at 6. They'll play either Eastern Kentucky or Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
Villanova's, I don't know how they got a number 11. They're horrible. They're not good.
They only had 3 losses. We had 4. That's the reason.
Yeah, but the way that you've got to look at who they play. The Villanova has not played anybody.
I know, but still, we have 4 losses, and that's what killed us. Like if we win that Weber game, we're in a different spot.
Or North Dakota, or you got South Dakota State as number 3. You got us in Tennessee State there. Like Luke and we have already said, all these games are at 10, 11, 12, 1 p.m. And then you've got the lone 8:15 Mountain Standard Time game with us, which is
I'll take because we're on ESPN too.
Exactly.
Any kind of coverage like that is good for recruiting and good for the university, so we'll take it.
And then they also gave Idaho a 7 p.m. game as well. Did you see that?
They must have changed it.
Yeah, because on there,
because I'm looking at the first bracket that came out right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the NCAA site, and they have a 7 p.m. tip for the Idaho's game.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
tip? You mean that's not basketball, is it?
No, it's football. It's their 8 seed.
Oh, wait, that's Idaho doesn't play till the next week, though.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I was just looking at overall,
the late games. Yeah, I see.
There's only 2 late games.
You're talking this week. My bad.
No,
I didn't got a bye, but they do have them as a 9 p.m. Eastern start time.
Yeah.
Which right now we have all those second round games on ESPN Plus. I guarantee you something's going to flex.
Yeah.
Like they usually throw one game on the U or ESPN
News or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But talking about the bracket, Luke, we're gonna do a bracket challenge, kind of like what we did last year, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it's funny because I haven't logged into that email in like a year, but yeah, we're gonna do a bracket challenge again. So with that, the email that you need to send this to is, oh my gosh, no, I gotta bring it back up. It froze up on me. Okay. Geez, this is terrible radio.
It's okay. It's not radio. It's a podcast.
Sorry.
No, I'm just joking.
Where the heck did it go? Here, hang on. I'm sorry. Let me just go over here.
That's all right.
Okay, FCS bracket challenge at gmail.com. So that's FCS bracket challenge, all one word, at gmail.com. So here's the deal. You need to fill your bracket out and get it sent to me I have to receive it by 9:59 a.m. Mountain Time on Saturday. Any bracket after that doesn't count. And it's free. I haven't figured out the prizes yet, but I will give prizes to first, second, and third place. Anybody can play. Like last year, our third place winner actually was a Bunnies fan. And last year all the prizes were Griz prizes. He's like, I just want to play in it. And my mom took fourth, and so he let her have the prize. It was cool. It was a license plate holder. So I got to figure out the prizes yet, and I will announce that on Twitter. We'll share it out on the Fight on Montana page and stuff, and my page.
Yep.
But yeah, if you want to in on it, email me your brackets. FCS bracket challenge at gmail.com. Or if you need to, you can text them to us. You can send it to us on Messenger, on Twitter, however you want to send it to me. If I get it before Saturday at 9:59 Mountain Time, you're in. So hopefully I think we had like 50 some last year.
Yeah, we had a lot. I'm trying to see if we had anybody comment on any questions.
I think last year we only did one bracket per person. I think that's what we're going to do again. So just one bracket.
One bracket, yeah.
Yeah. One bracket per person since it's free. So.
Yeah, we don't want too many because that's a.
Like I said, we had then everybody gets it's like you got to do your one you want to do. Like, are you going with your favorite team? You going with your mind? How are you going to do it? So.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any fan questions. I kind of posted it a little bit late, so sorry guys about that. But yeah, we've got more football on Saturday, 8:15 on ESPN2, and I think this is going to be a good get-right game. I think that all signs lead to, if we play the cards right, I think this will be a win.
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully we can get some identity back on offense and kind of get right before we
definitely, like, if we want to make a run, we gotta do some good stuff and get the confidence built back up. And then, like you said, before we have to go to Brookings. So yeah. But I really hope everybody plays in the bracket challenge. Like, it always worries me that we'll get like 10.
Oh well,
we're gonna have more than that because we got at least 2 here, and my wife and daughter will do, so that's 4. And then I think like my parents will do it, so I got 6. So we'll have at least 6.
I've got family members that will do it too, so we've got at least 10. We got at least 10.
So hopefully a few fans and a few people from last year will want to send them in. I know it's not as last year. Everybody was so excited.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit underwhelming this year because we got to play in the first round, but still send your brackets in. So
well, and it's interesting this year, like with that, just with numbers and everything like that, like it totally has gone down. Like just with Montana, being the way it is, it's
I think our numbers are down even on listeners this year because of
Yep. So it goes both ways.
Yep.
So
all
right. Well, like always, guys, go Griz, and we'll see you next time.
Heck yeah, go Griz.